Hello, hockey fans, and welcome to NHL Draft Pros.
Shoots, he scores!
In this video, I'm going to do a top 32 ranking, a pre-lottery. Yes, the lottery is tomorrow night, so I thought let's put something together, talk about the top 32, and check out some highlights in the process. It's going to be a lot of fun, so stick around. And if you want to see some scouting reports on some of these prospects, head over to NHL Draft Pros on YouTube or click the icon below, and it'll bring you to the homepage. And please help the channel grow by hitting that subscribe and like button. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks. Okay, so my first ranked prospect hasn't changed since November, and that is Matthew Schaefer. Check out the points. 22 points in 17 games as a defenseman. And I actually just released his scouting report, so if you want to check that out, I get into a lot more detail in that. And yeah, you know what? It's just a combination of offensive and defensive prowess. I guess you could say the skating is just unreal. I mean, he can just motor down the ice unbelievably, and he is really improving defensively too. So when you have a combination of offensive upside and defensive prowess, he is going to be very sought after. Granted, there are some other players that could potentially go first overall in this draft. Depends on who wins the lottery tomorrow. So we're going to talk about that later on. Number 2 on my list, no other than Michael Misa, an absolute gong show of a year in the OHL. 134 points in 65 games. Like, come on. He just absolutely torched the OHL during the regular season. He is an offensive dynamo for sure. Can skate, hustles, good defensively, really progressed well in the last 3 years in the OHL. He had that exceptional status 3 years back. So you know what? He just possesses a lot of the elements that a top forward has. And so, yeah, he's number 2 on the list for sure, Michael Misa. Moving on to number 3, a little bit of a drop throughout the season, and that is no other than James Hagens. 34 points in 34 games, though, in the NCAA as a freshman. That is pretty impressive. Problem is, he's only about 5'11", 170 pounds, and so the NHL, unless you're super dynamic, he's going to have a hard time getting that top spot. But he is an offensive threat and has high hockey IQ. So I think that he's going to land somewhere in the top 5 for sure. I mean, it all depends, I guess, again, on the lottery tomorrow. So number 3, James Hagens. Moving on to number 4, one of my favorite prospects, and that is Anton Frondell. Had 25 points in 29 games in the Allsvenskan, the second division men's league in Sweden. And yeah, you know what? He has some great tools. Just played 3 games in the U18s World Championships, but after a tough playoff run in the Allsvenskan, so I don't know if fatigue and jet lag and all that fun stuff kind of affected his game, but I still got him number 4 on the list. Number 5, we have from the Q, Caleb Desnoyers, 84 points in 56 games, and he is another well-rounded 200-foot player, and he's doing really nice things in the playoffs right now for Moncton. So I think that's going to help his stock. And if they can move on to the Memorial Cup and he has a nice showing, well, then that kind of solidifies his top 5 ranking, might even bump him up a bit. So we're going to see how that continues on for sure. But Caleb Desnoyers, he's number 5 on this list. Number 6, yes, we have another big forward, but a winger this time. That's Porter Martone, 98 points in 57 games. He's a 6'3", 200-pound right winger. Watch out when he's on the ice. Got a little grit, little sandpaper to his game, but he has an offensive flair too. You're seeing the shooting in this clip right here, but let me tell you something. He is more of a passer than a shooter. So that's a dual threat. When he can launch a puck like that and also dishes it off really well, well, yeah, you're going to end up with 100-ish points in your draft year. Not too bad. Porter Martone, number 6 on this list. Number 7, moving over to Sweden again, and that is Victor Eklund. And I just love everything about his game. He had 31 points in 42 games, and he just buzzes. I'm talking buzzes around the ice, like nonstop motor, compete level, just throws a body all over the place. Like, and he's got some hands. Check that out right there. He's got some hands. But there is no stopping this kid when he's on the ice. Once he gets bigger and fills out, he is going to be a menace to other teams. So Victor Eklund, number 7 on the list. And at number 8, we have another riser, and that is Jake O'Brien from Brantford in the OHL. 98 points in 66 games, 6'2", 170 pounds. So he's a little bit on the slight side, but he is a magician with the puck. Another player who loves to pass it off. However, worked on the shooting game, as you can see in this clip right here. And he just rifles this top cheese. So yeah, another player that I think that could potentially jump up a few spots, and I've said this before, might be the Beckett Seneca of this draft. So he's number 8 on my list. At number 9, another big forward, playing out of the Dub this time. And he has been riddled with injuries all season long, his lower back. 6'5", 192 pounds, and he had 20 points in 17 games. And yeah, Roger McQueen is another player with a lot of offensive upside, sees the ice well, big body, can move, has some hand shot. Yeah, check off all the boxes when it comes to a hockey player. And so, the injuries is a question mark. Is he going to be hampered with that low back injury? Is he going to get surgery? Questions arise when you're dealing with that, especially at a young age. So Roger McQueen, number 9 on the list. Moving on to number 10, we got our first D on the list, and that's Jackson Smith. 54 points in 68 games, playing for Tri-City in the Dub, 6'3", 190 pounds. Just finished with the Team Canada who won gold at the U18s, and I thought he looked pretty well. I mean, there were some things that he can probably work on, but I mean, for the most part, the underlying elements of a great D are there already. So, look at that skating. He can just fly down the ice, has a decent shot. So yeah, he's going to be number 10 on my list. At number 11, we are staying in the Dub, and another D who moved over to Seattle from Czechia, and that is Radim Mrka. And he ended up scoring 35 points in 43 games. He's 6'6", 200 pounds, right shot D. Yep, the NHL, they love their right-handed D, and so he is going to be sought after come draft day. He's a big mobile D, also played at the U18s for Czechia. I don't think it really raised his stock, I guess you could say, overall, but he did play pretty well, and he's a big kid, covers a lot of the ice, so he's number 11 on my list. At number 12, we are sticking in the Dub still, and that is Lyndon Lakovic, 6'4", 185 pounds, 58 points in 47 games. He's a big power forward-ish type player, but he's got some hands, got a shot, and I just like his overall game. Some rankings have him lower, but I think that Lyndon Lakovic is a great young player and shows some leadership too. So, you like a good player in the dressing room, and Lyndon Lakovic, I've heard, is a really good kid. So he's number 12 on this ranking list. Number 13, back out to the queue, and that's Justin Carbonneau, 89.62 games, 6'1", 192 pounds. He's a right winger with a lot of dynamic offensive flair. Yeah, this kid can score with the best of them. Let me tell you something. Watch his shot. Boom. I love it. He's another one. Now, he's an 06, so a little bit older, but the progression's been really good, and I thought that this year he certainly developed well. So I think, with that offensive upside, he could potentially jump in, and I'm thinking, top 15 for sure. And that's Justin Carbonneau, number 13 on the list. At number 14, one of my favorite players as well on this list, and that is Brady Martin. And wow, did he ever play well at the U18s. He had 72 points in 57 games, playing for the Sioux, 6 feet, 180 pounds. And this kid is an absolute menace on the ice. Not only offensively, but physically. He just runs around and hammers people. Let me tell you something. When you're on the ice on the opposing team, you better keep your head up when he's on the ice, because he is going to try to put you through the boards. Love his game. Brady Martin at number 14. Number 15 on the list, a defenseman from the NCAA, Logan Hensler. 29 games, 12 points, 6'2", 200-pound right-handed defenseman. He's got up and down on the rankings, but I like his game overall, and I've been watching him since last year in the NTDP, And I think that when you have a high caliber skating defenseman like he is, he's not a flashy D. He's not, a big offensive defenseman, I guess you could say, but he covers the ice really well. And defensively, he's growing and he's getting better every game. And I think that that's important. And I think he's going to go high on this draft. So Logan Hensler at number 15. Number 16, rounding off the top lottery picks, and that is Malcolm Spence out of the Erie Otters, OHL, 6'3", 200 pounds, 73 points in 65 games. Yep. Another power forward who also sees the ice really well, and he's another one, just hustles when he's on the ice, and I love everything about his game. Actually, we just did a talk with him and my partner Link on our talk show. So yeah, if you want to check that out, it's coming out tomorrow or maybe later on tonight. But yeah, Malcolm Spence, he's number 16 on the list. So here's my top 16, the lottery picks. Schaefer 1, Misa 2, Hagens 3, Frondell 4, Desnoyers 5, Martone 6, Eklund 7, O'Brien 8, Roger McQueen 9, Jackson Smith 10, Radim Merka 11, so D, and then Lyndon Lakovic, Carabano, Brady Martin 14, Logan Hensler 15, and Malcolm Spence. At number 17, I got Kashawn Aitchison, the D out of Barrie, big boy, heavy shot, 26 goals this year, unreal. Colin Potter, played for Arizona State, was really good at the U18s too, so he's number 18 on my list. Number 19, we got Blake Fiddler, playing in the Dub in Edmonton, also played at the U18s. I thought he played really well, big mobile D, so he's number 19 on the list. Number 20, we got Carter Bear out of the Dub too. Got a Achilles laceration, so that might hamper his rankings. We'll see when that comes. Ben Kindle, 21, and he played really well at the U18s too. Braden Coots out of the Dub, a goal scorer if you ever saw one, so he's number 22. 23, we got Cameron Reed, the defenseman out of Kitchener. Had a really good season, mobile D. At 24, we have Bill Zonin out of the Q. Big body, can score some goals. Yep, he's a menace on the ice too. Cameron Schmidt played really well at the U18s. I think it kind of moved him up a bit. 26, Sasha Bomidian played at the U18s for Team Sweden, and I thought he played really well too. He's an NCAA product. And then 27, we have Jack Murtagh, another U18 player, I think, who helped us stock for Team USA. Willie Moore, another US NTDP U18 championship player. He's on the list now. 29, Jakub Wozniak. Thought he had a good U18s, helped his stock. A player from last year or 2006 is Shane Van Sage. Played for Michigan State, and I love his game overall, so I got him in my top 32. Jack Nesbitt played for Windsor Spitfires and the U18 Canada team who won gold. He's 31 on the list. And then rounding off the top 32, you could have went with any one of the players here, but I put Ivan Ryabkin. He does have that offensive upside. There's some parts of his game that need refining, so I'm going to keep him in the top 32, give him the benefit of the doubt because of that offensive upside. And that's it for today. And like I said, if you want to see some scouting reports on some of these players, click NHL Draft Pros, and I have a bunch there and more to come. And that is it for this episode. We'll see you tomorrow at the lottery. Subscribe and like, and cheers.